Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I decided to do another part to my MILLIAM cinematic series. This is my third part, yes, third part to making this cinematic series. And essentially I wanted to do this because since my last part, it's kind of gotten a little outdated, I will just say. And essentially because of that, I've learned so much from movements to, I guess, the replay system and settings itself. So in this video I'll be going over some settings that you need to have, or I guess video settings for your game that you need to have, and also why you should do certain things and stuff like that. And basically I'll be going over that all in this video, as well as showing you guys how to edit these cinematics into Filmora. If you don't know, Adobe has their own, I guess, time ramping stuff, but in Filmora we have to kind of make it ourselves. And essentially that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. If you want to know the timestamp for when the editing part begins, here is the timestamp on the screen right now. This is just in case you've already made a cinematic that you want to use and stuff like that. So there you go. Go and watch that. Go and skip ahead if you want to, but I do recommend you actually do watch the whole video because it tells you so much on settings and other stuff like that. And with that being said, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Now let's go over to how to make the cinematics. Alright, we are in replay mode right now, and the cool thing about replay mode is that you can make your own stuff. I don't want you to copy exactly what I do. I want you guys to be unique and make your own stuff. Now you can take inspiration from this. This is just to show you some basic movements and I guess how to, make something clean. Alright, you gotta have those ideas, and although this is gonna take a couple tries, it isn't gonna be one of those one and done type things. This is gonna take probably like 5, 10, even 30 tries depending on what you're trying to do. Alright, with that said, let's go over the settings. So number one, for replay mode, you want to have these 3 main settings, and actually MILLIAM does use these if you didn't know. So number one, you want to have shadows on, anti-analyzing on, and post-processing. It depends on how good your PC is. Mine's pretty good, so I have mine on high for shadows, high for anti-analyzing, and high for post-processing. And that, like I said, depends on your PC. So if your PC isn't as good, then I recommend maybe doing them at medium or something like that. But these are important, so make sure you have try to have most of these on. Like I said, PC isn't good, then I recommend trying maybe lower. Alright, next tip, use a controller. These controller or cinematics with the controller is so much better than cinematics with, I guess, mouse and keyboard, mostly because controller has that 360 movement that you can't do on a mouse and keyboard, and that's because, you know, you have to hit WASD just to move around, and your mouse is your, I guess, camera, or basically how you move your camera around and stuff, and it's just definitely not the best option that I recommend. So I just want to say that I recommend you guys use controller for this. If you don't have a controller, then yeah, you can try mouse and keyboard, but it probably will be a lot harder to make something cleaner and smoother. I do know Alduck actually does use a mouse and keyboard for cinematics, if you didn't know that. So I'm not sure if he has a tutorial out, maybe he does, but I'm not sure. So if you want to know how it looks whenever someone makes some cinematics with the mouse and keyboard, you can go watch him. He's been doing it for a while, so he is pretty good with them, but like I said, controller is a lot better though. Alright, and next up I'm going to be making the cinematic, and what I'm going to be doing is essentially going from my POV in the clip and going down and zooming into the character. So essentially it's going to kind of look, I gotta slow down. Essentially it's kind of going to look like, this, but obviously so much better than what I'm doing, so essentially something like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's actually pretty good. I think I'm going to use that maybe for this. Yeah, I think that was actually pretty good. Alright, well, we got it 4th try, I believe, so that's pretty good. But like I said, it's not one of those one and done things. And yeah, so alright, we are in Filmora right now, and essentially what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys how, I guess, I make my cinematic or put it into the clip or the clips that I use for these types of cinematics and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we are going to drag our clip in here, which our clip is this one right about there, and then we're going to trim it up. I already have this as like a little preset for later. It's basically just my cinema lines and stuff like that. So just get the clip going from about right here, and then we're just gonna sync it up with the clip. This is not something that I guess you can just copy. It depends on what song you're using. I'm Sir by Rarin, I don't know how you say his name, but yeah. Oh, I did not mean to click that. So that's what I'm gonna do. You sync up your clip. I'm guessing you probably already have it synced up, but yeah. Alright, now that we have it synced up, what we're gonna do is we're going to make a cut right about where we made the cinematic. So my cinematic was made at this moment right here. So what we're gonna do is we're going to cut it at that moment. So we're just gonna find that frame. Oh, did not mean to do that. So we're just gonna find that frame. Let's see, where was it? It was right about here. So we're just gonna make a cut right there, and then we're gonna space out a little bit of space in between. You don't want this too much space because you're not gonna make this very slow. I've made this made these mistakes in my past of making, I guess, these type of cinematic clips and cinematic montages. I made a bunch of mistakes and I guess being really too slow on certain cinematics and stuff like this. So now we're gonna drag in our, I guess, MILLIAM cinematic. And we're just going to have it start right about there and end right about here. And now we're gonna do is we're going to copy it. So you can either hit Control C, which will copy it to where you can paste it down. Where is it at? Right here, where you can paste it down. Oh, and also you wanna mute your audio depending on, well, it really does depend, but I'm gonna mute my audio for everything because, well, yeah, because I use sound effects for most of this stuff. I'm not going to use, I guess, a shotgun sound effect because I already have this, but I usually do use shotgun sound effects or preset sound effects for most of my stuff. But anyways, so after we have that, like you said, or copy and paste it, and then you can hit Control V, which will paste it into your timeline. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to speed this up and kind of time ramp it. I guess you could say it is a lot harder to do on Filmora if you don't know, because, well, obviously Filmora does not have its own, I guess, time ramping thing like I guess Adobe does, where you can do all those lines and stuff. And what we're going to do now is we're going to cut it right about here, and we're going to make this down to 4. Then right here, we're going to cut it and make it, I think, 2. And right there, that gives us enough space to put this in here. And what we're gonna do is we're going to make this a lot faster, like, I mean, probably like 50 times fast. And as you can see, it kind of fits in already. And we're just gonna put that there. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to make this 100. As you can see, it kind of unsynced for there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drag that, drag this, there we go, and then we can drag over our clip from there. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to render it to make sure it looks good. Rendering on Filmora just makes it for, well, as it says right here, smooth playback. As you can see, I forgot to reverse it, which is what you want to do for your second thing, is reverse it, only because, well, it's reversing the effect type thing. I don't know how to explain it that well, but that's pretty much why you reverse it and stuff like that. As you can see, it's a little slow, so I think what we're gonna do is we're going to, I think make this, maybe let's make this 8 times. As you can see, for some reason. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drag these 3 out. If you don't know why I'm doing that, is because for some reason Filmora recently has been having this problem where it basically moves with it, even though I have it where these do not align or they don't, I guess, sync up. So if I trim something, it won't just follow it. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're going to, I think what we're gonna do is maybe make this 8 times, and then we're gonna have a 4 times, like right about here. 4 times, boom, and that's pretty much it. So let's see how that looks, and we're gonna sync it up again, render it, and let's see how it looks. So much better. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to use this little preset I already have down here. I guess you could say preset, I don't really know. We're gonna put it on top of that. This is basically cinema lines, or at least I call them cinema lines. And now we're gonna find a transition. I think I'm gonna use Warp 7. If you don't know, recently I've noticed this, which I really love that Filmora did this. They basically made it where their transitions are not RGB anymore, which is so much better than what it used to be, because it used to have like RGB on it and it was so annoying. But they actually fixed it. As you can see right there, there was no lines, but it was a little laggy, mostly because we haven't rendered it. If you don't know, I render literally every second of my montages, mostly because I do a lot of stuff. So as you can see, it's pretty good. I think I'm gonna make this a little bit. I think I'm gonna move this back a little bit. I think. Boom, right about there. And then see how that looks. Alright, so I think we're gonna move this over a little bit, right about there. Alright, as you can tell, it kind of does sound a little plain, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some sound effects. I think I'm gonna use this swoosh. Let's see what it sounds like. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that as our swoosh. And I did sync it up a little bit better, by the way, so let's see. I think what we're going to do also is we're going to do this. We're going to detach the audio from the clip, and then right about here we are going to cut it. We're going to slow it down by 0.50 or put it down to 0.5 x speed, and then we're going to put it back to where it is, so then it should look like this. And now we are going to add in another swoosh. We're going to use this swoosh right here. And we're going to add this swoosh right about here. So right about there. So at the end, it should look and sound like this. As you can see, I think we're gonna add another sound effect going out. I think right about here. It also gonna make this right about here as well. Boom. And then we are going to add, I think, another swoosh. Let's find another one. I think we're going to use the same swoosh as we did at the beginning. So I think we're going to add it down. Let's go down a little bit. And I think we're going to add it right about here. Yeah, right about here. And we're going to add the swoosh again. Boom. Right about there. Alright, and then after that, let's see what it sounds like. Alright, and after that, that's it. That's pretty much you're done. Now, essentially, I would add in some other effects, but since this isn't just a Filmora, I guess, I don't know how to explain it, Filmora tutorial. This is more of a cinematic tutorial on how to edit it in Filmora. I'm not going to do a lot of effects. This is just to show you what it looks like and stuff. And that is pretty much it. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And I hope this helps you out in your future montages and future stuff like that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Shit can get dangerous, yeah. Shit can get dangerous, yeah. You stand with that lame bitch, yeah. Well, I'm staying with the gang bitch, yeah. Like, ooh, and they gon' stay by my side. Like, why don't you stay on your side? Like, ooh, girl, you always switching sides. Need to get out my life and go get a life, bitch. You just mad you my side, bitch, yeah. And that top of my sidekick.